Okay.
Hi, all. It's Virginia, the European Travel Whisperer. I hope everybody is staying warm and safe and happy out there. I know we were supposed to get a lot of snow yesterday and we didn't, but I know those of you south of us and over to the east of us got quite a bit. So hope you're all doing well. I wanted to have this webinar to talk about the brand new cruise line, Explora Journeys, that my husband and I just went on in January to check it out. And I have to say, it was an absolute delight. So I am thrilled to introduce you to my sales rep, Mary Gallo. And she's going to kind of take us through the presentation, and we'll talk a little bit about the ship and the experience and what the cruise line is, headed toward, what the difference is between Explora Journeys and other luxury lines. And then if you have any questions, we'll take those. So Mary, hi, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Thank you, Virginia. I really appreciate this opportunity. And we were thrilled to have you on board, of course. That was lovely because nothing gives our travel advisors the confidence to sell us with passion than personal experience. And I know you had a great time on board.
We did.
So, as I introduce your clients to Explora Journeys, I'm going to call on you and ask you to give your own personal feedback too, because I know that the relationship that you have with them is special. And I know that hearing your feedback and impact will have a lot more, um, just a lot of impact for them. So, let me go ahead and introduce everyone to Explora Journeys. So, to begin with, we're not a cruise line. I know that's highly confusing since you just saw a big cruise ship, but we're actually a new brand and a new concept. We were the passion project of our owners. We are privately owned by an Italian family that owns the world's largest cargo shipping company. And they had an idea that they wanted to create an ultra luxury experience that would be different than the existing traditional luxury cruise lines. They're savvy enough to know that there are several of those lines already, and each one of them does an outstanding job. So it just didn't make sense to bring another very similar product into the marketplace and onto the water. So their goal, actually, because of their love of the ocean, was to create, as we say, ocean journeys with the idea of appealing as much to the luxury land guest who thinks that he or she is not a traditional cruiser as we would appeal to that avid cruiser. So before the brand was even brought to life and pen to paper, the owners hired McKinsey Consulting, and they interviewed over 20,000 luxury travelers and over 250 luxury travel advisors and said to them, so this is our goal. This is what we want to create. What would you want to see in this new concept of a luxury ocean experience? As you all might imagine, we got no shortage of feedback, but it really came back to four key pillars, and we've been designed and built, and we operate on these four pillars, and those are space, choice, design, and immersive journeys. So as I take you through and introduce you to the ship itself and life on the ship, I'll make you see how these four pillars have been brought to life. So currently, we have the first of our 6 ships in the water. Explora I launched on August 1st, so we're still not even 1 year old. And we're incredibly proud of the fact that even though we're not a year old yet, we've received incredible reviews from guests and from travel advisors like Virginia. Her sister ship, Explora II, will be launching this August. And then, as you can see on the screen, we'll be adding 4 more ships. Right now, Explora I is in the Caribbean, soaking up the lovely warm weather. In March, she will make a journey through the Panama Canal and over to Hawaii, and then up the coast of the Pacific Northwest, back down, and then do her first transatlantic back through the Panama Canal and over to the Western Mediterranean, where Explora I will spend the entire summer and fall. Explora II, as I said, launches in August, and she will spend her time in the Eastern Mediterranean. And then both of the ships will head back to the Caribbean for winter 24-25. In full disclosure, Explora II was meant to actually go from the Mediterranean over to the Arabian Peninsula and the Red Sea. But as everyone can imagine, with the current situation, we held out as long as we could, but we did have to unfortunately cancel those itineraries. So we will have 2 opportunities for your guests to enjoy the sun over the festive season 24-25. So we are an incredibly inclusive experience. And I did just mention that the ships will be in the Mediterranean. So this now more than ever is an opportunity to enjoy a luxury experience in the Mediterranean in the summer without it being so exorbitantly expensive. And I know Virginia will back me up on this. The cost of luxury hotels in the Mediterranean
Is
have
insane.
insane. That's usually the word I use. They have
Yeah,
skyrocketed to a point where a five-star hotel, don't you agree, Virginia, is going to be at least 2,000 euros a night for
it's
just your room with no
it's
view?
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I share with my advisors like Virginia when she gets calls for the Mediterranean, even if the guest hasn't asked for an ocean experience, I say, price out those hotels and then put one of our 7-night journeys next to it. Show them everything that they'll get, and you will realize what an incredible value proposition we are. So, to detail that, we of course include our accommodations in a suite, which I'll show you momentarily. We include premium spirits and fine wines in the suites, bars, lounges, and restaurants. We have 9 dining venues, including 6 standalone restaurants, and all but one of those are included in the cost of the journey, and I will go into more detail on that. We include all of our gratuities, and this is something that I think is incredibly important. We include complimentary Wi-Fi. Now, we are a new build, which means every single one of our suites has its own router. And Virginia, again, I'd love to hear your experience about the Wi-Fi on board, what you thought of it, especially compared to traditional Wi-Fi at sea.
Never had a problem.
It is unbelievable. In fact, the joke that I often make is that it's so good that when I'm on board, I can't make an excuse to my boss on why I can't be in a meeting or I can't answer an email. The usual answer is, well, the Wi-Fi at sea was terrible, so I couldn't connect. We have no issues. We've done streaming, we've done Facebook Lives, we've done all sorts of things. So
So
for those,
maybe I should have told you not to talk about this because I definitely told all my clients that I'd have limited internet access.
well, it was a fair assumption because that's usually what happens,
It is.
Virginia.
It is true.
Um, and but I think it's so important to note because anymore, none of us really want to disconnect. Maybe we're staying in touch with older parents or younger children, or you're still trying to take care of business. I even had an advisor come on board with his wife, who was an attorney. She didn't take time off, and they basically said to me, Mary, you better be right when you say this internet is great because her boss doesn't even know she's not working from home, and she did all of her depositions, all of her work, and that was her comment, is that I had absolutely no issues. So
Right.
it is unlimited minutes with this incredible Wi-Fi, up to 3 devices per guest. And
Yeah.
that, once again, Virginia, you know, I don't know of anybody that offers unlimited minutes. And so that is actually a great value savings for you all as well. So that's
Yeah.
everything that is included for our guests. So now to introduce you to your home at sea, and we don't refer to cabins because cabin is a traditional cruise ship term, and we're not a traditional cruise ship. So we're an all suite product. Every suite is ocean front, and every suite has its own private terrace. So with our lead in category that you're looking at here is called the Ocean Terrace. This is 300 square feet of interior space, which is the size of many hotel rooms in New York City. It has an additional 77 square feet of outdoor space on its terrace. You have a beautiful walk-in closet with the vanity and the high Dyson hairdryer, walk-in showers. All the bathrooms have heated marble floors. We
Mhm.
do have some suites that have this tub shower combo if you are a like to take a bath kind of person as well. So 377 of these in our inventory. The vast majority have a true king bed, as you see here, but we do have those suites that also have twin beds so that clients that are traveling with children, they can take a connecting suite and have 2 twins for the kids. We also have a subcategory known as Grand Terrace. The interior footprint is the same, but the terrace now goes up to 118 square feet. Really incredibly generous private terraces. I don't know if you had a chance to spend any time on yours, Virginia.
That was probably one of our favorite parts. And I always tell my clients, depending on who you are and what you do is depending on
Mhm.
whether or not you want, what kind of stateroom you want on any cruise ship, right? My husband and I do a lot of downtime reading and relaxing, and we love to have our own terrace. So we spent a lot of time, and this one was larger than any lead-in category on a luxury ship that we've been on, number one. And number two, it has that you can see on the left-hand corner on the balcony there. It has this lovely lounger. We spent a ton of time out there, and I applaud Explora for making the terraces a little bit larger and giving you the opportunity to be comfortable without having to upgrade to a larger suite. So bravo.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And that's why we call them a terrace and not a veranda or a balcony, because they really are substantially larger.
Yep.
Now, for guests who want more space, both indoor and outdoor, we would start with our penthouse category. We actually have four subcategories here. Two of them are like a larger version of what you saw just previously, sort of like an open studio suite. And then two of them are one bedrooms with a separate suiting area. So these are nice if you like to have more space. I think these work well if you have people traveling together where one is an early riser and one likes to sleep in. Maybe the converse, one goes to bed early, the other one's a night owl. So you've got a lot of additional space here. And then for those guests who want a true one bedroom experience, we would offer one of our 22 residences. These run in size from 750 all the way up to 1,600 square feet of interior and exterior space. And at this level, they enjoy two features unique to the residences. One is that every single one of their terraces has a private jacuzzi. And the other benefit is that they enjoy butler style service from what we call our onboard hosts, our suite hosts. We don't talk about passengers, we talk about guests, and we certainly don't talk about crew or staff. The people that will serve our onboard guests, we refer to them as our hosts. So these are really very generously spaced. These work great if you have a multi-generational, or perhaps the grandparents are traveling with their adult children and their grandkids, and they want to have a nice area for the family to come together privately for meals, to make plans, just to be together. And then finally, for the client who wants truly the best of the best, we would offer our owner's residence. There's currently only one on Explora 1 and 2. There will be a second one on the subsequent ships. So this suite, ladies and gentlemen, is 3,014 square feet of interior and exterior space. For all that space, it is a one bedroom, so really generously spaced. As you can see, the dining room seats 8. So this is ideal for that very upscale multi-gen program. You know, if you were doing a group of friends traveling together where maybe they're celebrating a special birthday or a special anniversary, maybe the celebratory couple takes this so that they've got lots of space for their friends to gather. It's really amazing. It is on deck 8 aft, and what makes this just beyond comprehension is that the entire deck 8 aft of the ship belongs exclusively to this suite. So you have an enormous outdoor area with dining tables and chairs, and then sunbeds, and then in the middle you have your own private plunge pool. So really quite extraordinary. We do have accessible suites for those guests who might need additional accommodation or just have a little bit additional help with the accessible bathroom and closets, etc. So culinary experiences is one of the things for which we've been receiving rave reviews truly since day one. I
Can I,
always say it's
Mary, can
yes,
I just say one thing before you
sure,
get
of
off this
course.
slide? That's one of that, the photo is one of the appetizers in the yacht club, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it no less than 3 times because it was so
Oh,
delicious.
I love that. Well, so I,
So
I always say that the food is incredible because we are owned by Italians and food and beverage is a religion to them. So it was incredibly important to them that we have incredible quality cuisine and variety.
yeah.
So these are the 6 standalone restaurants to introduce them to you very quickly. Anthology is the only one that is not included in the cost of the journey. This is actually a celebrated chef experience that is taken on by our Michelin star chef. The current chef on board whose cuisine we're featuring is Emma Bengston from Aquavita, New York. She's a 2-star Michelin chef, and she has created a multi-course tasting menu reflective of what has earned her those Michelin stars with the wine pairings. In a few months' time, her cuisine will cycle off, and our next Michelin star chef will come on board. So this will change probably 3 times a year, which means if you sail with us in different times of the year and you are a true foodie that likes these gourmet experiences, you'll get to have something very, very different. The currently the cost for this restaurant is 265 euros per guest, and that does include your multi-course tasting menu with your wine pairings. Now, the other restaurants are all included in the cost of the journey. I'm starting with Emporium Marketplace. This is our breakfast, lunch, and dinner restaurant. It is not a buffet. We don't have a single buffet anywhere on the ship. That is not luxury, and we don't think post-pandemic it's a good idea. You can think of it for those of you who have been to an Italy, Mattaria Botali's Italy, or if you've been to Harrod's Food Hall. It is a gourmet food hall with cooking stations. So each cooking station is featuring a certain dish or dishes, and then you, as the guest, go up and you tell them exactly how you would like it prepared to your specifications.
I
Um,
called it an open kitchen multi-station restaurant.
that's perfect the way to describe it. I always cringe when I hear buffet because it is the opposite of a buffet.
It,
Um,
it
it,
has it has the variety of what you would think a buffet, it's lots of variety, lots of choices, but no, it is not a buffet. No.
It's definitely more upscale. And although the overall ambiance is very casual, don't overlook it for dinner because in the evening, in addition to the other things that we offer, you'll find an oyster bar, you'll find crab legs, you'll find grilled lobster tail, you can do a surf and turf. So for an evening, if you think, I want to stay more casually dressed and I just want something fun but still divine, that's where to go. I'm going to stop and talk about the dress code on board since I mentioned that. We do not have a formal dress code nor a formal night. What that means is that gentlemen can join us in our fine dining venues wearing a collared shirt and trousers. We do ask no jeans and sneakers. In those venues in the evening, you could certainly wear that to Emporium Marketplace. But it is not an overly formal ambiance, and we find that our guests enjoy that.
Absolutely.
So now Fil Rouge is one of our fine dining venues. This is open for breakfast and dinner. And this is an a la carte restaurant, tableside service, and quite exquisite. I'm going to pop down to the bottom middle, Med Yacht Club, where Virginia enjoyed that amazing appetizer. So this is open for lunch and dinner. And as you might imagine, with the name Med Yacht Club, we're featuring cuisines from the countries that border the Mediterranean. Emporium Marketplace, Fil Rouge, and Med Club do not require reservations. Sakura on the left, which is our Pan Asian restaurant, Marble and Co. on the right, which is our European steakhouse, do require reservations simply because they are smaller in the number of covers. It has nothing to do with them being better or specialty. All of them are included, all of them are fabulous. It's just they are smaller in size, and so we ask our guests to make reservations so the people don't show up and we can't accommodate them. Did
And
you get
I
to dine in all of them?
I would definitely recommend all of my clients to make those reservations prior to boarding because those restaurants do fill up.
They absolutely do. Did you get to dine in all of them, Virginia?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like, so we did not do anthology, and the reason we didn't is because my husband is not a foodie,
Well,
and I
and
wasn't pay
that
extra.
is the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
I always say very clearly, if you are truly a foodie, if you are that gourmet cuisine person, you can't miss it.
So
If you're not,
we'll see
go
in
somewhere else.
July when I'm
Yeah.
not dealing with my husband, I'll probably do anthology.
Yeah, exactly. So which was your favorite then, personally?
We loved Sakura,
Yeah, people love that.
and then we loved all of them, but Sakura and Med Yacht Club were our two favorite.
It's interesting. Good. So these are the opportunities. So this is truly my favorite image. And this speaks to the fact that our owners wanted to create not another cruise ship, but an ultra luxury resort on the water because this is our lobby bar. And I think any luxury traveler that has gone to a five-star hotel or resort could look at this image without knowing that it's part of my ship and go, wow, what incredible hotel is this?
I agree.
And that is truly the feel that we have sought to bring about. So entertainment is another way in which we're different. We certainly have entertainment and activities throughout the day and the evening. What we don't have is a large auditorium or theater where we do the classic Broadway review because we're not a classic cruise ship. So in the Journeys Lounge in the top middle, that's where we'll have entertainment every evening. I liken it more to a cabaret style where we'll have a band, a 4 or 5 piece band, and then a vocalist or two. They'll do several sets. And then after that, a DJ will come out and spin tunes. A Stern Lounge will do trivia during the day. We'll have entertainment here, but it's a smaller venue, so it could just be a vocalist or maybe just a little trio. In the Explora Lounge on the bottom right is one of our three Steinway pianos are located, so we have piano music every afternoon. We also do a great high tea here every afternoon from 4 to 5. And then the Sky Bar is a very fun place. That's an open air bar, so that's just music that's piped in music, but it's a lot fun, lively entertainment. Malt Whiskey Bar, the entertainment there is all the different whiskeys. The people who enjoy that can enjoy. Behind that, there's also an enclosed area with a humidor. So if you are a cigar smoker, you can come in with your own cigar or purchase one and smoke it in there. And then Crema Cafe is a great place. This is open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily with fabulous coffees and teas and different sorts of beverages. In the morning, we'll have little small breakfast pastries, and then in the afternoon, small sandwiches. I don't think it really replaces a full breakfast or a lunch, but it's a great place if you want just a little something to tide you over. And these are just 6 of the 12 bars and lounges that we have on board. So we have 3 pools, 2 outdoor, both saltwater, both heated with lots of seating around them. So this is something our guests love too. They don't have to get up at 7 a.m. On vacation and run out and put your hat on the chaise lounge to make sure at 10 o'clock when you're ready to go to the pool, you have a place to sit. Did you experience that, Virginia?
So I think the only time what happens is because there are 4 different pool areas and they're smaller,
Yeah.
so it's not
Yeah.
one big pool area. So you're right, you don't have to run out and get your, but as the days went on, people kind of found which one they liked the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you'd be like that, fourth or fifth day. It's like, okay, let's go and see if we can find a place. So that was the only time that we had that problem, but people were very lovely about, when they got up, they removed the towels and there your seat was
Yeah.
available to you.
And
So
that is one of the things that's nice too, is that we do have, in addition to so we have 2 pools that are full outdoor. And then we have the third one that is the conservatory pool with the retractable roof, which is lovely because you do have a day where the weather is a little bit less than fabulous. We just close the roof and you're still at the pool. But we've got other areas scattered around the different decks with chaise lounges with cabanas. So if you don't necessarily need to be right at a pool, there's other areas where you can go and take in the sun in addition to your very generous terrace.
yeah, there are there's tons of seating and all the seating, no matter where you are, is high-end seating. It's not the plastic chairs that
Yeah, their teak and really beautifully done. So
very
sorry, apology. So ocean wellness is something that is very popular with our guests as well. So we do, of course, have a beautiful spa. We have 11 treatment rooms. We also have our spa thermal area. This is open to all guests at no additional charge. The only thing to note is that on a sea day, there will be limited hours because on a sea day, of course, is when the spa gets busy with the treatments. And if you, as one of our guests, had a paid treatment, you would want to come before and after and not have it overcrowded. So that just sort of makes sense. But we have all these different things that you can enjoy. And we have lots of opportunities for those people who want to go and enjoy vacation, but are still want to maintain their fitness regimen. So we have a walking running track, have a half basketball court, and the all important pickleball court these days. Beautiful gym with incredible fitness equipment. We have beautiful studio here where we'll do classes every day. These are always complimentary. It could be stretching, yoga, high intensity, meditation, those sorts of things. And then this is not the gym proper. We have this is one part of the tiny gym with it's where we have all the cardio equipment is in the larger area with floor to ceiling windows. And then we even have an area on the deck where we have outdoor bikes and rowing machines so that because we understand that a lot of people want to work out, but they also want to be outside enjoying that beautiful, fresh, warm air. So you don't have to make that choice with us. So this is something very unique for the shoppers among your clients, Virginia. We're the only cruise line that has actually had 4 prestige watch brands recreate their boutiques on our ship.
Mm.
So you're looking at Cartier top left, which is French, bottom left Panerai is Italian, bottom right Piaget is Swiss, and then top right, of course, everyone knows Rolex, also Swiss. So you can purchase watches here at duty-free pricing. The one that seems to be particularly interesting to a lot of our guests is the Rolex boutique because we actually have um, inventory on board to purchase and take with you. And there is currently, depending on the model of Rolex one would want to purchase, there's a 1 to 2 year wait list. Crazy. So any of your clients that have been wanting a Rolex, now they know where to come. So as you know, Virginia will tell you we are incredibly attractively priced right now. Till the end of this month, we have our total luxury offer with incredibly great pricing that Virginia can bring to you. Um, so I would encourage any of your clients that are interested to reach out to her. And like I said, I'm very fortunate now because I truly have an expert in Virginia. She's spent time on board. She's experienced all the different elements and the aspect of of the ship so she can tell all of you what makes us different compared to the traditional lines at sea, how we compare to a luxury land resort. So with that, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
So one of the things that I wanted to mention was the pricing. I think that sometimes when guests look at just a dollar figure, um, they're not taking in everything. And what I'd really like to point out is the really relaxing experience of having an all-included luxury vacation. Because, you know, again, everything is personal preference. It depends on who you are and what you enjoy doing. But my husband and I, when we're on vacation, if we're going to go and sit by the pool in the afternoon, we'd like to have a gin and tonic, by the pool.
Absolutely.
And if you're, paying for that, now you have a gin tonic in the afternoon, and then, you go and relax. Oh, you want a specialty coffee in the afternoon, after your gin and tonic, so you can read your book for a while. Oh, that's going to be a little bit extra on another cruise line. Oh, and then, you'd like a cocktail before dinner, and then wine with dinner. And then when you go to the show, which, by the way, the performers that you had on the ship when we were on the ship were truly talented. I mean,
Oh,
this
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah.
yeah, no, they were not. As a matter of fact, I went up to several of them and said, "Are you classically trained?" Because you were spot on. I'm a vocalist, so
Oh, wow. You would know, then that means
I'm
even
always
more.
busy.
Yeah.
So they were fabulous. But
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
again, as you think about all the things that you pay extra for on a premium or mass market cruise line, this is all included. So when you look at the price, you need to understand what's included. We like to have our sometimes have our cocktails out on our own balcony so we can watch sail away from our balcony. Well, you could get a bottle of wine in your room, and that's not
Absolutely.
charge.
Absolutely. And
Oh,
spirits. Yeah.
and by the way, um, sparkling wine is lovely. I am all about the sparkling wine, but on Explora Journeys, they serve in the bars and in your stateroom Veuve Clicquot. So for anybody who's a champagne enthusiast, as I am, that was a treat. That was an absolute treat. Um,
Yeah, we are all about yeah, so it is true champagne. And I just want to touch on what you talked about, which is I think so spot on with the pricing. Um, as I said, if you look at, for example, at the Mediterranean, if you started to compare a luxury hotel, even if you didn't go top of the line, it's still going to be 1,500 euro a night. And then you want to have breakfast because you're on vacation. That's going to be at least another 150 dollars in a luxury hotel. So then you go and you have lunch by the pool. That could easily be $200. And I'm not exaggerating in the least. Back to your afternoon gin and tonic, that's going to be 25 euros each
right,
minimum. It
right.
it adds up so quickly so that we truly are. So for those of you, especially if you're thinking about going to the Mediterranean this summer, this fall, um, I often hear, and I'm sure you hear this too, Virginia, people say, oh, the best thing about being on a ship is you don't have to unpack and repack. That's a really nice thing, but that is by far not the best thing. There's so many things that make it so much better. And I think with us, between the fact that you really will feel like you're on a floating Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton, one of those beautiful luxury resort that happens to be on the water that escorts you on your journey, and that you have all of this inclusiveness, um, with the exception of our shore excursions and your spa treatments, the invoice that Virginia presents to you is what your trip's going to cost. So you don't, as to your point, you don't all of a sudden at the end of your trip, you realize you spent about twice as much as you thought you were going to be spending because you did, well, we're on vacation. We want this, we want that. And then you find out, wow, we paid for it. And we paid for it.
Right. And I will say that we paid for our shore excursions and we did use the spa. We did
Yeah.
have massages and the spa area is beautiful and it was quiet and it was, the treatments were lovely. I also I did use the gym, not regularly, please. Um, and I did take one of the classes because again, on most cruise ships, any classes you take are an additional fee. And I was just thrilled that, oh, hey, I'd like to do yoga in the morning a couple times, keep my back loose and stuff. So that was
Yeah.
a really, really nice benefit.
Yeah, it really is very, very. I never say all inclusive because we don't include the spa and the shore excursion, so I don't want to have that be a little cloudy or confusing. But we are, for all intents and purposes, incredibly inclusive and incredibly well priced.
And a lovely experience. The ship is the word that comes to my mind always when I think of it is classy. It's clean lines, muted colors, lots of marble, just very, very upscale and classy, and yet not stuffy. Like you
Not
said,
stuffy and not over the top.
right. No, not at all. Not at all. It was very comfortable. We loved it. And I talked to another travel advisor on board, and she said, oh, I've always been a blah 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 brand seller, but now all my clients will be hearing about Explora.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Now you
Any,
got, it's really, there is a difference. There is definitely a difference in the feel and the experience. You couldn't walk down the hall without any of your hosts, no matter what they did on board, saying, good morning, hello, how are you today? It was really lovely.
well, I'm so glad. Anything else before we wrap this up and give
Yeah, I
people
don't
back
see
their time?
questions, and I think that, I'm gonna go ahead and make this recording available to all of my clients, so obviously they know how to reach me. And if they ask me questions that I don't, they now know that I can certainly reach out to you. So
You
thank you,
definitely
Henry.
can. Well,
Thank
thank you so much, Virginia. Thanks for coming on board with us. Thank you for letting me share this with your clients. And I look forward to hearing from you, that some
Absolutely.
of them will be joining us soon. Thank
I
you.
certainly hope so. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye.